Hello everybody, today we're playing with Hope. Estheim is a 2-mana 2/2 legendary creature human wizard with lifelink, and at the beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So this is a commander we're going to be playing in Standard Brawl that cares about milling, and is one of the very few commanders where I actually prefer to play this in Standard Brawl over Brawl, which are pretty rare. Normally, most commanders, I would say 90% of them, you want to play them in Brawl, which has more cards, more options, but the advantage in Standard Brawl is there's 60 card decks instead of 100. 40 card less means milling becomes a more viable option. In general, mill in Brawl is considered one of the most difficult win conditions, and Hope S team does bring an option to the table. So how do we make this commander work? We have a couple packages here, but the big one, what really makes the mill plan be viable is we have, at to this point in Standard Brawl, have enough sources of mill to make a mill win con viable. And I would say these are must-crafts for any sort of a mill deck. We have the Teresian Mindbreaker, which is a 7-mana 6/4 that whenever this creature attacks, defending player mills half their library. But we care about the unearth. We have many ways to discard, and this is the sole reason we added another creature that synergizes with being discarded, mainly for the unearth, because we want to, if we draw this card, we want to be able to consistently discard it and use its unearth ability, and suddenly milling the opponent for half their library makes Hope's ability significantly more powerful, and we get very close to our win condition, which is milling the entire library. To help us out, we have Rereturn Monument. Once we milled enough cards with Hope, we can combo with the Monument, and for its exhaustibility, any number of target players each mill cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. And if the opponent, let's say, destroys it or has some sort of artifact destruction, we have a way to reanimate it with Recommission, or if it got milled or we discarded it, we can bring it back. Other really good mill plans from this set was the printing of Water Crystals, a 4-mana legendary artifact. Blue spells cost 1 less to cast, and if an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they may mill that many cards plus 4 instead. And has the 6 and tap, each opponent mills cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. This is really powerful with Hope because we're milling a couple cards each turn, but now adding 4 more, we can close a game very quickly with Water Crystal. Another printing from the Final Fantasy set is Jador, Aristocratic Capital. This is one of the few decks where we really want to cast the adventure side over the land. And we're going to hold this card in our hand until we cast it because we really care about its adventure side. It's for 6 mana, target opponent mills half their library. And if we have the Water Crystal, we get the discount and gets +4. The Mind Skinner is another really good creature in our deck because this is one of the very few decks where we care about milling more than doing damage to the opponent. And the Mind Skinner has a very important text: it cannot be blocked. So the opponent has to burn removal to deal with the Mind Skinner. And this deck has many ways to reanimate creatures that have 3 or less mana. And by having 10 attack, if a source of damage would do to opponent, prevent it, and we mill instead. We have flyers, and any sort of direct damage we do to the opponent, we mill instead. And very quickly with the Mind Skinner paired with milling half their library, we're going to be closing the game very fast. Finally, we have Jace the Perfected Mind. Played in Standard, it's quite powerful. We really care about its X ability, being able to mill target player 3 times X. X cards, you were playing for 4, we're milling them for 15 on the spot. Very good to close a game, but its +1 is still quite powerful because aggro is going to be annoying against us, so being able to deny as much as possible in the early game pretty much gives us quite a bit of power into those matchups. But we talked about the mill package that every mill deck should be running, but what does Hope bring to the table? Hope really cares about gaining life as gaining life means milling more cards. In Standard Brawl, I've tried many ways to go for consistent sources of healing. I trade creatures that when they entered, you'd gain life. I've also tried other spells that just inherently gains life on its own, which is nice with hope. We get a good burst, but there's two problems. Number one, they don't do anything on their own. And that's very important because hope it can get targeted. Example, we play a giant heal spell, we gain 5-6 life, and the opponent before end step destroys our commander, so we didn't mill a single card. So they become very risky cards to run, and usually, in my experience, they're just not worth it. And it's only you get one big mill instead of a consistent source of milling. This is a commander that wants to be milling every turn if possible. So what are the best synergies? Creatures that have inherent lifelink. So Steel Seraph works wonders in this deck because it's one of the few flyers that's actually mana efficient. For a 3 mana 3/3 and doing lifelink, you give it lifelink, it's going to be milling 3 cards. And it has inherent evasion, which is very powerful and can give other cards evasion. Other powerful cards are 1-drops, would be the Healer's Hawk and the Bat. Constantly healing 1 a turn, which really adds up if we have the Water Crystal in play. The Hinterland Sanctifier is also quite nice. It's the only creature we do have that has this effect. I even played the Bat, the 2-mana Bat. It tends to just being too slow. Well, the Sanctifier, we usually at least play Hope, and is a nice blocker in the early game. Restoration Magic's quite good because we can not only protect our board, but we gain life. We usually use this on defense, and the life matters because, especially into aggro. Of the 2-drops, I've been playing with quite a few. I think Glory Heart, the Lynx is not bad because the Lynx is a 2/3 with lifelink, so we can play it after Hope and crew it, and we can get a planes. This deck runs 5 planes and helps quite a bit for this deck because this deck really does want to have quite a bit of mana. In the turns we're going to be comboing, we really want to hit especially that 6 mana. 6 mana, or even hardcast the Teresian Mindbreaker, and on its own, it would just win the game. As for other sources of light gain, I do have to mention the enchantments. There are 3 enchantments in Standard Brawl that exile a permanent. The 3 mana one exiles only a creature. But very importantly, we gain a life. That's huge because not only do we have a source of interaction, but we are gaining extra life and means more cards to mill. And running 2 board wipes, these are situational board wipes because we do care about our creatures being on the battlefield, so Split Us gives us the option to go on offense. Especially, example, we have the Mind Skinner, we hit, and then we target, destroy all untapped creatures, or vice versa. Thorfall Invocation, same strategy. We care about one creature, maybe the Mind Skinner or our commander. We wipe the board and we give the card so we can bring back our most valuable creature. And finally, I do want to mention the Oculus. I've added the Oculus in this list because we have many ways to return a creature, and we're going to run a source of discard. The main reason we run this entire package that draws and discard, and stock up is just pretty good, is because if we have the Mindbreaker in our hand, we really want to be consistently discarding it. There are games where if I don't run enough draw and discard, I have one of my win cons in my hand and I have no ways to discard it and I just lose the game because I really need to cast the Unearth. This deck can consistently mill 20-30 cards, but milling 60 becomes extremely difficult and we really want to be milling half their library. And it becomes a huge threat to our opponent because every single card draw helps us win. And what to pair up with one of our good cards, we have 2 things Oculus really likes. Ways to bring him back and ways to discard him. We do both, so it's a very good inclusion into this deck. And of course, we are running a cheap commander and very powerful cards and 3 costs. So I run the full suit of ways to bring back creatures with power 3 or less. And of course, there's good value removal. There is battle menu, and like the effect, we normally use magic, destroy creature with power 4 or greater, but in case we need to win with mill, we have item, where you gain 4 life, or even a creature. So, let's see how we do with Hope Estheim. Okay. Are missing the... Oh, we have a Jace. Get the surveil though. I like the surveil. We go second, so that means we get a card. Oh. That's a card D. Oh, there you go, guys. If he wants to transform, play our commander, we gain a couple life. What else can we do? We can Jace and minus here. That means we have to give up our 2 life here. I am not a fan. That's quite a bit of counters. We can double block. I think it would take sense. I'm gonna static net here the commander. I think the commander. We're gonna have to be in a race scenario. Not a fan of that. Most can't really do. Run. We take out 1, we have to deal with the problem later. Gonna be stronger and stronger. Yeah. We're gonna be taking a bit of damage next turn. Go you. Heal. Probably have to save this at this point. So he goes 1 and 1. He saved 3 HP. I can minus here, we can go for a hit. Not bad play. Let's get him down. That's option 1. Option 2 is we can just go for the Angel. I do like Jace. We can start scaling with Jace. I'd like to draw cards though. Or we can fight for commander. What did it land? Okay, we have that. At this point, I think the better draw. It's in our sorcery creature flying. We can discard you. We could go here. Over. Next turn we can go for the patient. We have 3, no problem. Let's start going for the Jace burn. Or we can destroy the tap creature. It's not bad, but we don't need to commit. But we can use Jace minus, because it has to do damage, right? Any amount of damage. I believe 0. I could be wrong, but go for it. Yep.
The weak-minded will be educated in Phyrexia's ways.
Yes.
Organic minds
And I'm gonna
easily
I
quelled.
believe nothing happened. Willing to try. Oh, he's gonna get screwed. So be it. Protecting here. He goes on the offense. And more right. I think at this point we just go max. Yeah. Knowing him. Do we go for a mill here or later? Believe we can. We can draw here.
No secret escapes my grasp.
Do want to draw lands. We can start milling their graveyard. Maybe we should have bust. We had lethal next turn. Yeah, that's my bad. Okay. We can mill half his library here. That would be down to 13. And 4 times 3 is 12. So if I hit, can I do something else? It's down to 1. And I believe we can block. Library. Yeah, let's go all 6.
I know one French, and your entire mind melts.
Alright, we got him. Our plan next turn was go on offense and bring him back. So, and we even have 1. So he had 2 turns to win, and we could comfortably block next turn. We got there. GG's. Okay. We have the cards, but we have a very awkward hand. Is it worth it? Yeah, our lands are absolutely terrible. I don't think we get them. Ooh, I'm taking a 1-lander. Another two. What did he want to be? Is this wrong? Doesn't look that great. It was second. Have resources, try to pour. This is our best thing yet, right? So auto removal for counter spells and 3 in center brawl. 2, not too many. That's good. Probably nice to do that thing, so props being that great. That's a fight spell. Like here we have a prop. And the problem is that thing will destroy our enchantment. We can just draw here and make him mill, and we have a blocker. We need it. Maybe announce it. And okay, if you have one. Yep, gonna be forcing to feeling here. You have a good block here for Bill, you can full block. I do want him to commit a bit more. I mean, sacrificing the haywire might. Give me a hit. Sounds weird, but I do want to. That is, let's see, 7-5 here. Really want to 4-wipe. I'll attack here, just want the life, really. I don't mind. Let's start with the patient. Hit him with the first. Are you done? Sorry. We've got to deal with those 2 annoying cards. We have quite a few. Non-creature artifacts or enchantment. Yeah, as a fight spell, it's fine. I would like to fight. Gonna try and do that. Do I have a good bait? I'd like to know him quite a bit. And I believe we are going to remove that card.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to save G if I could. You need to deal with the ramp. I like to chart course. I think I'm chart coursing. I'm discarding quite a few. If we get a free hit. Oh, this doesn't untap. Okay. Mills for the cards equal to the hand. I don't get to hit, unfortunately, but I do get to deal with that. So we could have hit the bird. Fine. I may bring him back. I could bring back that guy. I guess the land is the better play. How many cards? There's 16. But that is interesting. That's good. Good. 21. They're scary. Alright. Alright. And we draw our land, but I can't believe it worked. Okay. Ivory. Down to 7. And right here. I can hit, but 5, 6. Have a 4 white for him. Doesn't know himself, which is weird on his part. I take this trade. I don't know. Creature gain life. What else can we do? Equal the number card in my hand. I believe this is lethal. I don't. Power of having many ways to know Heptavalue. We're gonna need triple blue. Against Kuja. This is probably one of the most difficult matches. They have so many ways to remove our claim. Do we surveil it to the graveyard? I think so. I think the only way here is trying to play the Mindskin or protect it. We're gonna use our commander as bait for removal. I take this trade. I really. Oh, does it save me bites? We do have a counter here, if we win. Especially. We make the most use out of our confounding riddle. Need to deny that commander. That's his best play. Alright. No problems here. I can play you, but that opens it for removal. Opponent has a lot of interaction, is what I'm seeing. Option here is to play Hope. He's just gonna eat a removal. We can deal with that later. If we just hit Gate Hope, gets removed. I'm in no rush, I guess. Wants to do something, we can deal with it. You see there? She deals with the rabbit, not the bat, because the bat's more consistent factor. Show off. Okay. Just wants to sacrifice at this point. Fine. At this point, if I counter... I can counter here. Because he does deal with the wizard. I do not want to deal with that wizard now. Because what is our next turn? We're gonna take the hit, most likely. I deal with the wizard, and I don't lose my bat. We go for a hit now. I'm gonna put it back. I'd like to play Hope at this point, but if these two are going to be my play next turn, I can just play Hope here and start milling. The show-off requires him to play quite a few spells. And if they're going to aim at Hope here, or more room for Mind Scanner to work. Is it not? Oh, it is a wizard, so they need... how much? 4. If I didn't draw. Alright. I think at this point I can play you and you, which is fine. Or we deal with the removal. Both are annoying. But I believe doing you doesn't do much. I yeah, because it's exile. No way to deal with Hope, which is... We have two options here. We can play the Mind Scanner and get lost, the bird. Can go for this hit. Option number 2 is we deal with the mage. And we hit him. I like that. I deal with the mage here. And we can enchant me here to deal with the other bat. What are the options? Because like Shelf Show is not a big deal. If one plays a boar wipe, it's annoying. At this point, I am worried for boar wipes. think you're trying to be patient now. Opponent does have quite a few cards. I'm not playing the Mind Scanner because I suspect opponent has a bad way. Also have no good way to protect till next minute. Alright. Yeah. Finally commits more, so I think he does not have a Broadway. That's right, land's pretty good. We do with you. We go for hits, we block. And now I think it is time to start playing the mid again. Start pressuring. Does become a win. Surveil. Yeah. And I think at this point, I don't think we need to commit hope. Guard. Yes. Yep. They are drawing, so I was trying to look for a removal. We have a way to bring it back. And make sure we don't die, though. Okay. So... if that's his play... so he wants to exile. Make a tap fish for me. Especially if the opponent spent all his resources. Alright. Now we can even block here. We have more than enough mana to get him back. Alright, we got there. He was at 8, he was gonna get milled. Here's the importance of pacing yourself and choosing your battles correctly, and the value of the enchantments. Here we were patient. We use our interactions, use our counter spell, because it's going to make us sacrifice a creature and make a wizard, which is very important for Kuja. Kuja wants multiple wizards. And we anticipated that this Flickrock show is not going to be an enormous threat. We have ways to heal back. And when the opponent, pretty much the big signal is when the opponent played the Black Waltz number 3, I knew the opponent didn't have a board wipe. So that's where I just went all in and went for the Mind Skinner and closed the game. GG's. It's not bad, we have Malcolm. I think we keep. You're not that. We don't have a double white. Oh, that's more Malcolm. Like, my question is, I think I want to do and then Estheim. Really hoping to draw something better. But they're gonna play their commander. I believe that is better. You know, we may not have time to mill. It's just the power of the ramp, right? You don't have answer to a ramp, now you're suddenly extremely behind. And we have to Malcolm and try to draw. Well, that's terrible. That is really bad. I don't think we have time for you, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I'm eating. So it's time we're knowing with the view for the whites and the blues because we want the blues for the mind breaker, but the whites are a little more important. That guy gonna be a problem, but at least we can trade if they don't have a land. I'm willing to trade for Bill. Let's save that. We have to deal with you. If we bring you back, we don't have another white. I'd like to wait here. What are we doing? Is the Union? Or the Enduro? The Endurance goes. Yeah, we misplayed that. Oh no. I shall start Norman permanent. At least we have our right. Next turn, I have specific. He does get a giant creature here. How about I could say that? It's fine. Being, I believe we deal with you. They do want me white. He's a menace. Maybe I commander or Malcolm. We can take a hit here. That's why we split up possibly. For life, what are we naming here? Death here. Not too much, I think. Yeah. Yeah, he goes for double hit. I can split up. Towards an argument to no. Wonder how much removal. Do that. That means he wants to tap everything. To deal with it anyways. That way, he's not. Interesting. I do want to recommission. Get the Malcolm back. Can we copy? On that. We're not being checked. Do just 1, 2, 4, 5. Let it spring out the dark. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Do you? That's like we can. I show how our hand is. Are they that afraid of hope? Yep. Yep. The Conan's mad. Okay. I'll get you now. What's wrong? I wouldn't deal with the Malcolm. I think Malcolm's more dangerous than my commander. Especially he has a blue. Taking 4. We can draw this card. We have. Playing this point. Alright. We can make us this card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, but our 4 is more important than our commanders. Because we're gonna stop drawing here, but we're gonna remove the 13. Liquid kick counter, sorcerer. I'm gonna leave them hexproof. My laser spray? My... That's indestructible. Not cards. He does draw here. So maybe that's a mistake. I should have taken the 5. Yeah. That is 13. Didn't go there. Go that on library. Player to middle 5. Because we can. Gotta win. GG's. For the post-game rant with Estheim, it's a commander that is pretty fun. I like it quite a bit, mainly because we get to mill in Brawl. Milling in Brawl is quite rare. There's not really easy ways to get there, and pretty much all, if not most of my wins have been through legitimately just milling the opponent's entire deck. This is a true mill commander, and what really makes this commander playable is he is cheap. And because he's cheap and in white, you have ways to bring him back. The opponent's going to be constantly being able to destroy, killing your commander time and time again, but because it's a cheap commander, we can play him 2-3 times, absolutely no problem. And because he is pretty much has a target on his back, we can use him as bait. Many times I just use my commander as bait. We constantly get killed multiple times, and then we bring our big hitters, the Oculus, the Mind Scanner, and we make the opponent heavily regret not having extra interaction up. But because we are a slow deck, we do need interaction of our own and ways to get that interaction on time. So I really like the card draw package where we draw and discard. They may not have direct synergy with our commander, but they're very good to get our game plan because we need an Oculus for blockers and we need the Mindbreaker in our graveyard so we immediately start synergizing with our commander and mill the entire library. Plus, they're just really good card in this draw. Worst case scenario, we get to hit our lands. We need to hit our lands. And 2, we get to fetch our removal pieces because we need to also be on time with there. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Down below, what are your favorite commanders of this set? Thanks for watching.